Hello everyone, am I audible to you? Good afternoon. Just give me a yes or a hi so that I know that you can hear me. Mridula, good afternoon Mridula. Yes, okay, so there is no technical glitch whatsoever and we can hear each other all right. Well, I can't hear you, I can see you only. Hi Sneha. All right, that's wonderful. So welcome to the session guys, SET BBA part 2, and we are going to do a one-shot revision of all the relevant SET questions that SET will have in store for you. Symbiosis, a renowned college, and we cannot let this opportunity to slip away. So we are going to leave no stone unturned and prepare, to our heart's content, and we will score through the roof. I am Pradip Sir, your VRC and mentor, and you are on BYJU'S Exam Prep, India's premier online test prep platform. So you know that ACT, now it's a test of speed, it's a test of grit, it's a test of logic, right? Although we have so many sections, we talk about English, we have LR, maths, so on and so forth. But more often than not, we have seen that it's actually a test of logic. So I will be sharing my slide with you. Just stay with me for a second. Okay. So is my first question visible to you guys? I hope I am audible. You can hear me. This is the first question on the screen. Okay. So what are we going to do today? We are going to practice a few fillers, and we are going to practice a few questions based on grammar, and also we will try to figure out a few questions based on parajumbles. All right. But before we head into the session, let me tell you, there is no reason that why you should panic. The questions are going to be easy. Yes, you heard me right. The questions are going to be on the easier side so that in 15 minutes, right, you cannot learn everything in 15 minutes. So the questions, even the examiners, they understand that. So it will be a highly common sense question. You just have to read the question, keep your logic in place, and you will be through the roof, and your scores will be absolutely fantastic. But more importantly, it is the reading of the question which will actually decide whether or not you are marking the right answer. For example, the very first question, it's a filler based question, right? Fill in the blanks. Let's read the question and try to understand what the question says. The recently dash peace deal between the United States and the Taliban is unlikely to bring dash to Afghanistan, is geopolitically disadvantageous for India, and has serious dash for our national security. So most of you have answered B. Samir, you have a question. He's asking how to remember words for a long period of time. There is no need to remember the words, right? If your reading is spot on, if you have the habit of reading on a regular basis, then when the words keep on coming to you, you might have noticed whenever you read, whether you read a novel or a letter, or any article or any essay for that matter, the words keep on coming back to you. And when the words keep on coming back to you, there is no need to remember the words by heart. There is absolutely no need to remember the words by heart. Just read and let the words keep on coming back to you, and that is how you practice vocabulary. But yes, Visiting one word or a group of word, on a regular basis also helps you remember the words for a long period of time. All right. So what were the options? Aggression, animosity, problems, negotiated, peace, implication, bonding, treaty, advent, mark, landscape, society. What is the answer option? The answer option is B. If you talk about peace deal, right? Now, what is deal? Deal is a kind of agreement between two countries. And when you are signing a peace deal or when you are talking about a peace deal is always negotiated. What is negotiation? When you talk to each other and you come to an agreement. Yes, you talk to each other and you come to an agreement that is negotiated. Aggression means increase, right? Going on, in the ascending order, it is increasing. But when you talk about peace deal, what kind of aggression do we mean over here? Nothing. Animosity means it's a bitter relationship between the two parties or enmity. We are talking about negotiating the peace deal between the US and the Taliban is unlikely. There is no possibility or less possibility to bring peace to Afghanistan. So the author is of the view that the recently negotiated peace deal will not bring any relief to Afghanistan, and this is geopolitically disadvantageous for India for its, now look at the sense, serious. Now if the result is serious. Now, what kind of word do we need over here? We need a word that shows result. So, implication is the word because it has a negative impact, right? Advent means to start, okay, or the beginning of anything. Society does not fit the blank. Problems, yes, it could be problems, but more importantly, we need a word that shows result. So, implication is the word. So, B is the answer. All right? Okay. Choose the word that is most, okay, now this is not opposite. This is closest. Next question. Choose the word that is closest in meaning to the given word. Okay? The word which is closest in meaning to the given word. Closest. Right? The word is livid. Now, what is livid? Is it happy? Is it proud? Is it energetic? Or is it angry? What do you think is the word? What is the meaning of the word? You have to guess the synonym. So let's do it. Happy, proud, energetic, angry. Okay. Mayank has keyed in C, Vaishnavi has keyed in B, Sneha has keyed in B. Mridula, well, I don't think VAT and SAT will be on the same day, Mridula. So I think it will be just right after the results are declared. Only then WAT will happen once you know the result. Okay. Now, what is livid? Livid means seriously annoyed. Okay, when you are very angry. Okay, so livid means angry, and that is why this should have been the answer. All right, it means angry. Livid means angry. It is not happy, it is not proud, it is not energetic. For example, when my father saw me coming back home late, he was livid, means he was very angry. So livid is angry. All right, okay, done. Yes, Neha, you're absolutely right. It's angry. All of you have marked it perfectly. All right. Let's get into a sentence correction problem. It says, from the given option, choose the one which best expresses the given statement in the passive voice. In the passive voice. Okay, look at the question. The question says, the cat drank all the milk. A. All the milk had been drunk by the cat. All the milk has been drunk by the cat. All the milk was drank by the cat. Or all the milk was drunk by the cat. What is your answer? It is an easy one. Come on. You don't need to think even for 2 minutes. You look at the option and you can, come home with the right one. Oh, Philippa has marked B. Thank you. B. All right. What about the others? Okay, let us look at the question, guys. Now, whenever you have an active passive question, they are easy stuff. But sometimes we are very overconfident, right? Please hold your horses. I know you people are right, but what happens when you are in some kind of a hurry? More often than not, we end up marking the wrong answer option. Now, over here, if you look at the question, the cat, this is the subject, yes or no? Drank all the milk. Now, if you look at the verb, what is the verb? It is the past indefinite tense. Yes or no? Correct me if I'm wrong. Are we on the same page? So, the passive of it should also be past indefinite. Okay, this is the basic rule. We studied them. We read them when we were in class 9 and 10, 11 and 12. In A, it says had been drunk. It is the past perfect tense. Yes or no? So can this be the passive? No. All the milk has been drunk. Now look at the verb. Has been drunk. It is present perfect. Right? So can we have the present perfect as the passive for a sentence which is in the past perfect tense? No. Anomaly of tense mismatch is strictly not allowed, guys. All right. All the milk was drank. Now was drank. This is ungrammatical, right? With the helping verb, you need the third form of the verb. So what are we left with? We are left with D. All the milk was drunk by the cat. So D should have been the right answer option. I hope you people have followed why D should be the right answer option, right? Dekho, this is ungrammatical, right? Was drank, okay? Drink, drank, drunk. So the first form of the verb, the second form of the verb, and the third form of the verb. So what do you need? You need the third form of the verb with was. Hence D should have been the right answer option. I hope you people have followed the idea. Yes? Okay. So this should be kept in mind when you answer such questions. All right. Let's look at question number 4 very quickly. Telin just completed the development phase of its next generation manufacturing process that shrinks chips circuitry to 32 nanometers. Now, this sentence has been divided into 4 parts, A, B, C, D, and either of these parts may have an error. And if you think there is no error, the answer should be E, no correction required. So let's read the sentence very carefully and then we'll try and answer the question. Okay, let's get going. You may find the sentence a bit long, but it is not tough at all. Vaishnavi has marked B. Thank you, Vaishnavi. The others, please. What is the answer? All right, let's look at the question. Telin just completed. the development phase of its next generation manufacturing process that shrinks. What is the tense? Present tense. Whenever you come across a sentence, it is important to read the sentence carefully and try and find out the pulse or the feeling of the sentence. What is the pulse? The pulse of the sentence means in which tense has the sentence been constructed. Now, if you look at the sentence, the feeling is that of a present tense. The sentence has been constructed in the present tense. All right. And I would like to draw your attention to this part of the sentence. Okay, tell in just completed. So if you look at the answer option, it should have been B. This is wrong. Ideally, it should have been tell in has just completed. Okay, this should have been in the present perfect tense. All right, this part of the sentence should have been in the present perfect tense. The presence of just guarantees the use of a present perfect tense. All right. So how should the question read? The sentence read? The sentence should read like this. Telin has just completed the development phase of its next generation manufacturing processes that shrinks chip circuitry to 32 nanometers. So it was just a test of tenses. I hope you have followed the question. Yes? Easy stuff? Uh, I just was reading your comment, believer. If you just elaborate what exactly you wanted to ask, I would be able to enlighten you on this. All right? Okay. Now, let's come to a very important area of verbal ability. It is parajumbles. Now, in parajumbles, what do? We make pairs. Okay, and the pairs are often mandatory pairs. Okay, and then we try to figure out the sequence. Okay, a very important area of your SAT exam. So the first question coming your way on parajumbles is this. Read the question and then let's figure out the option. Vaishnavi has marked 3. Okay, the others will answer the question quickly, I hope. A. Now, non-grocery retailers have begun to adopt grocery store ideas to their own business. That's what A says. B says, to maximize profit per square foot of selling space, stores have to keep the fresh goods visible. C says, grocery stores with razor-thin profits of 1 or 2% realized long ago that it is critical to keep only products that will sell on the shelf. D says the most important assets that a retail store has is its retail space. E says they have to turn their inventories frequently to prevent spoilage, loss, and to maximize the return on their space. Now, first of all, it is important for you to identify the opening sentence, the introductory sentence. All right, so here we have quite a few options. A. It means 1, Sneha, isn't it? Alright, Vaishnavi has marked 3. Sneha has marked A, which means 1. Believer has marked A, which means 1. Okay, let's look at the option. It is 3, right? The opening sentence should be D. And do you know why? It talks about the most important assets that a retail store has is its retail space. So in a retail store, the most important asset is the retail space. So this is the introduction. We have to talk about the retail space, right? And why is it important? If you go to B, to maximize profit per square foot of selling space, stores have to keep the fresh goods visible, and this is exactly why we need the retail space. All right. Now, DB is the most apparent link. Okay. Now, if you look at C, C talks about grocery stores with razor thin profits. Okay. Now, when you say razor thin profits, are we talking about high profits or very low margin of profit? It is the latter, very low margin of profit. All right. Of 1 or 2% realized long ago that it is critical to keep only products that will sell on the shelf. Again, reiterating the importance of retail space. All right. So CE, look at CE option. They have to turn their inventories. They means who? The grocery stores. All right. So if you look at the CE link, it is again quite a mandatory link. They refers to the grocery stores. They have to turn their inventories frequently to prevent spoilage, loss, and to maximize the return on their space. And then comes A. Now, non-grocery retailers. Up till now, we talked about retail stores and grocery stores. A talks about non-grocery retailers. They have begun to adopt grocery store ideas to sell their own business. So this is a latter idea or a latter thought. Hence, it should come at last. Hence, the option should be 3, D, B, C, E, A. All right. Although it was a long question, but it was absolutely an easy one. Right. You could have done it by linking the dots, by connecting the dots. Okay. So DBCE link, once you decipher the DB or CE link or any say XY link or the YZ link, right? The next remains is to put them in order. That is the only one, that is the only thing you're supposed to do. All right. Can we carry forward the thought to the next question? Okay, this question may look long to you, but it is not difficult at all. And you will understand why I'm saying so. Okay, read this question. Hi Nitesh, welcome to the class. Please read this with absolute care. Sorry for being late, sir. No problem, Nitish. No problem at all. Happy that you're in the class. At least you were in the class. Okay, Sneha has keyed in B. Thank you, Sneha. Okay. What about the others? Very quickly. Don't you think it is an easy one? 1859, 1837, 1861, 1879. What is the idea? Okay, we need to arrange them. We need to arrange them, that's all. Let's look at the question. The two men marketed their goods aggressively, expanding from Cincinnati by railway and riverboat in 1859. Company sales reached $1 million. The company began in 1837 with when James Gamble, a soap maker, and William Proctor, a candle maker, formed a partnership to manufacture and sell their products. C again talks about during the American Civil War, 1861 and 1865, P&G was a top supplier of soap and candles to the Union troops. Now I'll go to E also. It says in 1879, right? This should be the latest in the sequence. So don't you think this should have been the answer option? B should start the sentence in 1837 and this should lead you to A in 1859 and A should further take you down to C 1861. So once you are able to establish this link BAC, the rest will follow. Okay, and E has to end it because it is the latest year mentioned. So even if you don't read the sentence properly, even if you don't read the paragraph properly, just the years can take you to the option and you can solve it in no time. I hope it is clear to you. Arranged by the year, Mridula? Okay, that's wonderful. And exactly this is what we were supposed to do. Easy question? All right. Next one. Let's look at this one. Let's read A quickly. A says, but would a broken supersymmetric theory still be able to solve the gauge hierarchy problem? Question mark. B says, it's breaking the symmetry without destroying the beneficial effects of that symmetry that has been the hardest part of the program to fulfill. In other words, that's what C says, it is still an open question. It is still an open question. The question that was asked in A. So I hope you know the pairing now. Yes? Okay. That depends on the scale at which the supersymmetry is broken and the method by which it is broken. E says it is easy for an expert to construct a supersymmetric theory. All right. Now, you have to ask yourself a question. Is AC a link at all? Is it a link at all? Right? Because A asks a question and C looks as if it is answering the question being asked in A, but it may not be the case. Can you figure out the opening sentence? Let's figure out the opening sentence. Can you give me the opening sentence? It's breaking the symmetry that has been the hardest. It's easy enough for an expert to construct a supersymmetric theory. Can we say that EB is a predefined link? Is it possible for us to establish this? Okay, let us see what the answer is. The answer is for EB is a predefined link. It is bonding so well. This is an unbreakable bond. Okay? It's easy enough for an expert to construct a supersymmetric theory. It's breaking the symmetry that has been the hardest part, right? Look at E and B. And then you come to A. But would a broken supersymmetric theory, now since we are talking about broken and A takes Q from B, but would a broken supersymmetric theory still be able to solve the gauge hierarchy problem? Now, A is being answered, is being explained in D. It is being explained in D. That depends on the scale. Now, that refers to A, right? And still, towards the end, the author says that it is still an open question to answer. So, with C, we are going to conclude the paragraph. So, it's EBADC. Nupur has answered it absolutely fantastically. Sneh has also answered it. That's a wonderful answer. Okay. All right. Going back to grammar a bit. Currently, I read Adam Bede and I will take 2 more weeks to finish it. Let's come out of verbal reasoning. So, A, B, C and D. You may find a flaw in either A, B, C or D. I will take 2 more weeks. Currently, I read Adam Bede. No correction required. I would like your attention to this part. Currently, I read Adam Bede and I will take 2 more weeks to finish it. Just by reading the sentence, you will figure out that there is a serious problem with this question. Isn't it? Do you think the problem lies in A, I will take, B, 2 more weeks, C, currently I read Adam Bede, or D, no correction required? Well, let's not waste time on this. The answer is C, this is wrong. It requires a present continuous tense. Currently, I am reading Adam Bede and I will take 2 more weeks to finish it. Isn't it? The latter part of the sentence is in the future and the first part uses currently. That must show an action in progress in the present. Okay, and that's why it should be am reading and not am read. All right, okay, absolutely right, all of you, great answer. Let's look at this one. In question given below, a part of the sentence is italicized and underlined. Below are given alternatives to the italicized part which may improve the sentence. Choose the correct alternative. In case no improvement is needed, option D should be the answer. If he would have read, he would have known. A says, is read, B says, was read, C says, had read, and D says, no improvement. Can we see through this question quickly? No improvement, no improvement, Mridula says C. Okay. When we were doing tenses in class 11 and 12, there was a very important rule that was taught in the class, conditionals. And in conditionals, there were 2 rules given to us. The first rule was if plus subject plus the V2 form, then the next object or subject must be followed by would plus B1. What was the example? Let's understand this with the help of an example. If he worked hard, he would pass. If he worked hard, look at the verb worked, the second form of the verb. And what is the result? The result comes in would plus V1, would plus pass. But if I change the context, like if plus any subject plus had plus the third form of the verb, right? It should be followed by another subject plus would have plus the third form of the verb. So what should I say? If he had worked hard, he would have passed. Yes or no? Right? So with if clause, you cannot use would have. It is wrong. Would have is used to show the effect or the result that flows from the first part. Okay, so the answer should have been if he had read, right? If he had read, he would have known. If he had read, he would have known. Not would have. If he had read, he would have known. I hope you have followed the concept. Yes? So please be careful when you answer. So C should have been the right answer option, not D, guys. Alright? Okay. Many of you got this one right. No worries. Let's look at this one. I would rather you do not wear casuals in office. A boss to his or her employee. I don't want you to wear casuals in office. I would rather you do not wear casuals in office. A says you do not. Does A have a problem? B says wear casuals. Does it have a problem? C says I would rather. Does it have a problem? D says in office. Or E, no error. What is your answer? This may be a tricky question for you, but if you know the concept, you will be able to answer it. Ria has marked A, Sneha has marked A. Okay, wonderful. Vaishnavi is also marked A. Okay, and guess what? The right answer is A. You do not. You do not. It should have been you did not. Because the rule says I would rather, whenever you use would rather, after the object, please use the second form of the verb. For example, I want you to pay me. I want you to pay me. So if I use would rather, it would be I would rather you paid me. Why paid me? Because with would rather, you must use the second form of the verb. And that is why A has a problem. Alright? So with that, we come to the end of today's session. We did discuss a variety of questions on parajumbles, that is verbal reasoning, vocabulary and grammar. I hope you have enjoyed this session with us. In our next installment, we are going to bring to you many more sessions on VA and other areas. So till that time, practice hard, solve mocks, take time to solve mocks, practice regularly and get back into the habit of reading. Please keep on reading. Do that good work for yourself. All the best for SAT. So this is Pradip Sir from BYJU'S Exam Prep signing off. Please do not forget to like our session, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. God bless you. See you in the next class. Bye bye, all of you.